one question I had, and this was based off of a conversation that we had before we started recording, is that you'd mentioned the three best decisions that you've ever made in your life, right? One being moving to LA, one
Mhm,
being pursuing your sobriety, and the other being coming out.
mhm.
And I have never come out, but I have moved around a ton as a young age, and I know how scary that can be. And obviously, I've been very vocal and open about my own journey of sobriety. I'm curious from your perspective and from where you are. You've done a lot of hard things in your life. Of those three decisions that have been poignant for you, which has been the most challenging to take on, or was one decision necessary for you to take on the other two?
Ooh, ooh, I love the way that you phrased that last question. I think the number one that was the foundation of it all, of where I'm standing right now, was coming out.
Mm,
I had to come out as gay. I came out as gay when I was 16 years old,
mm,
January 2006. And speaking of the Huxtables, here I am thinking my family's like the Southern Huxtables. They're like, oh, we love you anyway, son. No.
right.
My dad beat the crap out of me. I share this because this is my story. So whether he wants to hear this or not, or someone else did not want to hear this, sorry, it's my story. And this is who I am. And it's what made me into the fierce, unique, authentic, genuine, and handsome gentleman that I am today. Snap, snap. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Um, but when he did that, it broke me. It broke me, but it made me to the person that I am today, because the lessons that I've learned about loving yourself and knowing who you are in order for you to live your life authentically and as pure and as real as possible was from that decision of coming out. And I'm
Mm,
so grateful for that, because if I didn't do that, Ray, who knows where I would have been.
right.
I didn't want to be a statistic, straight up. I did not want to be a statistic. I did not want to be someone who would bury myself so much into either sex or heavy drug use or any of that matter. I did not want to be someone who would marry someone of my opposite sex when I really didn't love them.
Hmm.
And because I was hiding myself, I did not want to do any of that. So I did that at a young age because I knew it was the right decision.
Yeah.
I remember every single I remember every single moment of coming out to my family, to my friends. I felt alone. I felt I felt alone, but I did have support at the time at a young age, because coming out in the South and in the Black community, that wasn't something that you do.
Yeah.
Coming out to Black folks in the South, they thought it was something that white folks did. That's just the way it is. But I was like, that's just not me. I have to be true to myself. I have to love myself. And I have to say, with me coming out the way that I did, even though it was tough, I reflect on it and I'm very grateful that I did.
Yeah. It's almost, and you obviously correct me if I'm off here, but it's almost as though you in some ways were avoiding a death sentence, right? Like in not in if you were not to have come out, even
Hmm.
at that young age, you're walking that long walk to your own demise. And
Amen.
similarly, had you have not taken the advice and heeded the words of the folks around you and your mother, that's another type of death sentence that you were, strong enough and found the fortitude to move in the opposite direction of. And I think that that's a real solid trait that clearly has been inside of you for a long time, and it just didn't come out as you've kind of recognized your relationship with alcohol. So again, hats off to you. Those are hard things to do.
Thank you, sir.
I can only imagine.